number 23.
Ooh.
Jordan.
Kung napapansin nyo, parang kulang yata tayo today. Parang, pag alas 12 na, it's talk time!
Back in the day when there was radios, you know?
Meron pa rin namang radio. Grabe ka naman dyan.
Naglaplapan
That's
sila.
Naglaplapan!
Naglaplapan
Parang
sila.
Viva Films story.
Free massage.
Wow.
Spakul.
Yes! I was about to ask eh.
Yeah.
Anong klaseng spa ba yan?
Yeah. So it's a spakul.
Pam, 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 pam!
Let's
And
go.
we are back!
Yes, we are back.
Episode ano na tayo dyan?
The best, diba? It's number 23.
Ooh.
Jordan.
Somebody just switched back to the number 23.
Yes.
But anyway, guys, episode 23,
Yes.
the guest list. Parang, kung napapansin nyo, parang kulang yata tayo today.
Yes.
Bakit tayo kulang? Sanasan ba yung isang kasama natin?
Ryan is busy doing It's Talk Time, our noontime daily show. I think, and last time I checked, it was 3,000 viewers na.
Nice.
Second day.
Hashtag priorities.
Yes,
no?
hashtag.
Iba
Focus.
na talaga si Ryan Tanyada. Pang
Sheesh.
pang noontime show na, no?
So he's the new Tito Vic Joey.
Yeah, to everybody that's watching, I'm sure kung kailan lalabas itong episode na to, episode 23 of the guest list. By this time, alam nyo na merong noontime show ang The House of Collab and it's called It's Talk Time.
It's Talk Time.
Mondays to Fridays yan,
Yeah,
noontime
abangan yan.
show. Pag alas 12 na, it's
Talk
Talk Time! But anyway, mabalik tayo. My name is JV Advincula.
I'm John Herrera.
And this is the guest list.
Yeah.
John.
I mean, exciting, huh? We have very special guests. We actually have special guests too, plural.
Yes, I think this is the first time we had two guests
Yes.
in the 23 episodes of the guest
Yes,
list.
when two become one.
Ooh. And guys, sa lahat ng mga nanonood, mapapanood nyo kami sa Fairfax Network channel on Facebook, Instagram, and on TikTok. And of course, John, on our audio.
Yes, Buzzsprout, Spotify, Amazon, and Apple Music.
Yan, download nyo na yan. Help us to get into the top 10 podcast.
Yes.
Kasi si More with More Ranks, nakasama natin dito. Of course, the studio is already top 6.
Yes, congrats, Moranks.
On the entire Philippines.
Yes.
But anyway, this is a very exciting episode of the guest list.
Yes.
And for me, this brings back a lot
Yes.
of excitement.
Yeah.
John, how about you? Ay, parte kaya yata nung
Decade?
decade na. I mean,
Well, definitely, there's a lot of energy in this room because I have so many great memories with this. Not only with them, but hearing them in the car on radio. Back in the day when there was radios, you know?
meron pa rin namang radio. Grabe ka naman dyan.
FM radio. Sa kotse, okay.
Meron. As John was trying to intro, ako, these two guests that we have, we're very honored. And
Yes.
hindi ako mahiya magsabi na when I was back then, working my 9-to-5 rat race.
Yeah. The Matrix.
The Matrix. When I was Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate, top G's.
Top G. Ako para sa akin, pag pauwi ka na, you always look forward to this radio
Of
show
course.
while in traffic kasi as a guy, this is kind of like your fantasy tropa. Fantasy tropa, when you talk about all these boy stuff, syempre, we're alone driving in your car. Diba? Parang, I always listen to this, guys. And I'm sure a lot of you guys watching.
Yes, sir.
Very nostalgic. I'm just saying, we just want to highlight it again.
Yes. We need to bring back that energy into radio.
Exactly. So, John, do the honors for introducing our two guests for today.
Yes. They are the most famous, the legendary Toni and Jojo the Survivor.
Palakpakan naman tayo dyan!
Boys Night Out's finest.
Yes. Welcome, Toni Bueno. And of course, Jojo, our love survivor.
Yes.
What's up?
Yes. The single ones, diba?
Yeah.
They're only last man standing.
Last man standing.
Yes.
Exactly. Thank you. It's an honor to be here. Love what you guys are doing for content and also for the House Collab. Also with this new noontime show called It's Talk.
Yeah.
It's
man.
talk time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just started 2 days ago.
Oh, congrats, guys.
Yeah, man.
Alam mo yung feeling na yung difference pag ako nagsasalita compared sa pag nagsasalita silang dalawa. 'Di ba? Parang yung
May
sila
eloquence.
parang especially when Tony spoke, it's like, dude, this guy knows his shit.
Yeah.
So parang kami ni Jack, we just goofing around
Podcaster
here.
in the
Slurring and slamming.
No, but that's good. I mean, you guys, that's your comfort zone. How you guys speak, and later on, be more of the dynamics. I mean, as you do it, as you know, as the outliers, after 10,000 hours, you become an expert at whatever it is that you do. And so, right now, you guys just started like a couple years, right?
No, like 3 months ago. Over some whiskey and tequila.
Oh shit! Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it started. I was like, we're drinking
This
tequila.
guy's been doing it for what? 12 years?
Yeah.
What do you?
10
10 years.
Wow.
And he still talks like that.
Yeah.
So
Parang double meaning is sinabi ni Tony.
Oo, ganun talaga.
So is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I feel like, yun na kasi yung identity ni Jojo.
Diba?
Diyan siya minahal ng tao.
Oh, do what
Love yourself.
yeah.
Love yourself. Accepting lang.
Yeah. What do you do? You make love to yourself.
I
Yeah.
love myself every
Yeah.
day, 4 times a day, 3 times a day. Pwede naman.
Pamela left and Pamela right.
Hindi, kahit saan.
Flexible yan si Jojo. But yeah, we're very honored to have you, Tony and Jojo, here in the guest list. I feel like this is gonna be one of the most exciting and funny, but of course, a lot of learnings na episode ng the guest list.
But JV, remember when we pitched the guest list, our goal was to get the energy of these boys. We were like, how are we gonna do it? I miss yung data. I miss when that guest came on, and these guys were the masters.
You guys are.
I said to get the masters, it will be the student today. So we want to learn from you. Our guests, Gen Z, they don't know so much about what happened in the past, because the only way to tell a story is from you guys. And please don't hold back. Untold stories.
Oh, yeah.
There's no MTRCB here.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, raw. You like it raw.
There's no law, it's raw.
Soundbite.
Pero
TikTok.
pero bago ang lahat, sabihin ko lang the opinions expressed by guests and hosts are solely theirs and do not reflect the
Yes.
opinions and beliefs of the
Yes.
show, channel, or its affiliates.
Affiliates.
Siyempre, kailangan may ganyan tayo.
Yes. Baka ma-woke tayo.
Yeah. Woke culture.
Woke. Baka ma-cancel tayo, bro.
on your third month.
So JV, you guys, I want to know from the perspective of JV, because he never told me you were on radio. It's like, maybe tell me your experience from these guys, because I knew them as friends, and me and Tony were friends since before radio.
Kayo kasi mga idol ko talaga kayo eh. Promise. Seryoso. Like, for those who don't know, I think I've told this story on episode 1. Si John kasi, of course, Styles, Embassy, diba? Ako kasi, John's older than me like 25 years.
Yes.
Joke lang.
Yeah.
Ako kasi, parang, I want to be cool nung back then. Na parang, I see all these like fancy girls, all these drinks, and all the music. And then the line at Embassy is like, pinipili pa ni what's the name of that?
Ashley.
Ni Ashley, pinipili pa niya. Like,
yeah.
I need to look good, diba?
Yeah.
So, I had the chance when I went to Manor. Embassy was shut down.
Okay.
Diba?
My
And
birthday.
yeah,
I remember that.
and then everybody went to Manor. And at Manor, with our friends, sila Bingo, sila Stephen, of course.
Rest in peace.
Sila Ron was there. I got to roll with Goodfellas. Yan, sila Wesley.
Oh, good fellas.
Yes. So with Queso, yan, Ryan Reyes.
Yeah.
So I was there. I became a promoter. So why did I become a promoter is, of course, I wanted to be cool like you guys. Because I see you guys every time. Embassy talaga. So, parang idol ko, literal. I wanted to be a Johnny Rivera back then.
Everyone
Make
wanted
it
to be
happen.
Johnny.
Kasi the way,
Everyone want to be part of Styles.
the way he dresses and his vibe, parang he brought Kardashians,
Yeah.
he brought Aoki. Ikaw yung guest today.
Happy birthday pala. It's JV's birthday this week.
Happy birthday.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, but fast forward to where we are today. Yun nga, I really look up to you guys, and even on the radio waves, the frequency, katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, when you're working, of course you have your 9 to 5. Their show starts like at 6 back then.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of commercials in between. I think it's about 6:45 or 7 where they really come on.
Yeah.
And parang yung they're listening. Sorry, I try my best.
Yeah.
And so now, parang they're like my every day in my ears, Monday to Thursday. Every day in my ears. Sila yung relax ko. Si Tony, of course, with Sam, with Slick, with everybody in the roster, and of course Jojo. So parang for me, this is a dream come true to have a guest list with you guys.
Thank you.
Diba? Yeah. So ngayon, to everybody that's watching and listening all over on Spotify and everywhere, pag-uusapan natin paano ba nagsimula lahat. And that brings me to my very first question.
Yes.
And I would ask this question to Toni, being part of the pioneers of
The
Boys
legend.
Night Out.
Yes.
Okay.
And the legend, the one and only.
The GOAT.
The
Diba?
goats. The goats.
Kambing,
The
ha?
goat team.
How did,
No, lambing.
Toni, how did everything start with you first entering Boys Night Out?
Okay, well, I first started my radio career with 107.9, which was a provincial station in Batangas. So from Ortigas, where I live, I would travel, commute all the way to Batangas. I would hustle. I would do. Remember, we were called Promo Boys.
Yeah. Street team promo.
Promo Boys back in the late
With
90s.
your Marlboro sleeveless shirt.
Marlboro, Lucky Strike,
Lucky Strike.
Jose Cuervo, Tabasco, San Mig Light,
Wow.
Salsa Zaz,
Yeah.
all of these Sin products. I would do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then sometimes Saturday. And then my radio would be Monday to Sunday. So
That's the grind.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
the
I
grind.
wouldn't sleep. I'd sleep 2-3 hours, and I would have to commute from Ortigas to Batangas, Laurel, Batangas, just past Tagaytay. So I take a cab all the way to Taft EDSA, and then from Taft EDSA, it's now called DLTB, but it was before it was called BLTB. So I take the bus at 4 a.m. so I can do my 6 a.m. show till 9.
Wow, that's the grind.
And the H-Town was there. Javier, Decipher was there. Bliss was there. I think also...
Bossman?
Bossman, no, he left.
Okay.
He had left the country and was dealing with his baby daddy stuff at that time. And so it was just me on my own. And then finally, after 11 months, I was getting paid 3,333 pesos every month. I was like, shit. This is not enough. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to quit, resign, and apply to Magic. And then around 2001, I applied to Magic. And then the rest was history. 2 weeks later, I applied. 2 weeks later, I was regularized.
Wow.
Which was probably one of the quickest they said. I don't know if they were desperate for DJs, but basically I bumped off Lambert.
Yes.
I bumped off Lambert from the mid-morning, 9 to 12 in the morning. And then I would do mid-mornings every day, and I would also do a graveyard shift. And they screwed me because the new guy that gets initiated. So I did 1 year without complaining, working twice a day.
Ang layo pa ng gap, ah.
Yeah. So I was screwed. And then a few years later, I said, hey, I don't have a day off, right? And they're like, oh, why didn't you say anything? I go, I was just following what a regular employee would do, right? Now, shit, you can't get kids to work
Double
two
shift.
shifts
Yeah.
at zero pay. Oh, fuck no. No way.
In hindsight, what did that experience teach you? Because for out there are content creators who think a little will get them a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So, you got a lot.
I think in the first radio station, the time I spent commuting was 4 or 5 hours. My workload was 3 hours. So I was spending 5 hours traveling, 3 hours work, which was 8 hours of my life, and I didn't complain. I think that was building blocks of being patient, slowly but surely. Obviously, some of us want to get to the top, want to get a higher pay, want to make it up the corporate ladder in a snap of a finger. And I sort of waited, maybe you could say 11 months was a bit too long. I wasn't feeling that I was ready yet to jump into Manila radio station because all the guys that we knew, like Mo Twister, Chris Damano, Mike Zerudo, all those guys were
MTV VJs were huge.
those guys were VJs and DJs. And I was like, shit, I can't even get a VTR. What the fuck? What do I have the right to be on Philippine Manila radio when all these guys that I live with they look the part and they speak the part? And I'm like, shoot, if I can't get a VTR, then I don't belong. I said, fuck it. I left Power 108 and then applied to Magic 89.9 in 2001. I don't know, mid. And then, 2 weeks later, they're like, okay, you have the mid-morning and then you have a graveyard shift. And then, basically, I realized that we're talking in the present moment. Those struggles, those obstacles, and that hardship, sometimes you have to really know when to say, okay, you know what? I'm worth more, and you move on. There are a lot of things that people look for in a career or in a job. It could be growth, it could be money, or it could be fulfillment. So for me, at the start, Power 108 was getting my feet wet. It was just growth of knowledge. It wasn't about the paycheck, and it wasn't about the fame, and it wasn't about fulfillment. fulfillment. It was just, I need a job and I want to learn. And then from there, after 11 months, I was like, okay, there's no more growth here. I ain't earning shit.
Yeah.
3,333 pesos. I'm spending more commuting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a cab pa.
Yeah. So I was
Walang grab yan, bro.
yeah.
May fair, minsan meron pang ano yun,
Metro.
yung
Metro,
may,
ting, yellow.
ano, the, what, the,
Yeah.
may daya.
And the fulfillment was there. But I was like, how can I get my pay grade and my fulfillment at par on the same level? And the only way was to leave.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't wait till your bosses decide on giving you a paycheck when the system in place wasn't conducive. I knew that the owners were not gonna shell out cash because they were political figures that lost.
Oh, shit.
He was no longer mayor.
What?
In Quezon, where the station was. And at the time, NU 107, Atom Henares, hated the fuck out of us.
Yeah.
Why? Because we were
Anti.
we were 107.9, and there is a rule in Philippine law. The Philippine law states that you can't be less than 6 decimal points.
Yeah, I heard about that recently.
So 107.9 was coming into Manila, interfering 107.5.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, yo, what's this cool station? And we were getting commercials.
It's hip hop. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's hip hop. Shit. Yo.
It's like they put Bone Thugs.
Yeah, no, and there was cuss words.
Yeah.
We didn't have the radio edit. It was just Two Live Crew, NWA,
LimeWire, Napster downloads.
LimeWire,
The
Napster,
golden
exactly.
era.
Yeah, we had to actually bring your own CDs.
Yeah, your program.
really?
Yep. You didn't know that?
The labels couldn't go there because it was freaking fucking Batangas. Who's gonna drive? Who's gonna drive 2 hours?
I remember a CDR King burn for one CD was 2,000 pesos.
Okay.
One, just burning one copy.
One copy.
Yeah.
There you go.
You have
So
to be-
you have to invest in your own crap.
So remember the Case Logic?
Yeah.
yeah.
So I had 2 of those. I carry that every day, everywhere I go. So if I have a gig and I'm like promo guy from Malate to Libis to Fort, Fat Willie's,
Yeah.
I would carry my CDs in the van and I would leave it there. But after, I wouldn't even shower sometimes. I go straight to
Lagari talaga.
Yeah, Lagari. And I did that for 11 months. And then finally Magic said, okay. And then how I got into Boys Night Out was I was already doing the evening. This was 2004, 2005. I was doing 9 to 12 with Teta News and Mighty Mike. And the station wanted to just make a overhaul on all the shows. Mo was gonna do mornings, I think, at that time. And I said, all right, let me take your slot. At that time, he was still living with me. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna move to mornings and then you take the evenings since you're always fucking out anyways.
Yeah.
You don't do shit. you don't wake up.
You're the embassy.
Yeah. You don't wake up till what time? And then he goes, you bring so many guests over to your bed.
I remember that. Put the sock in the closet.
Yeah. He's like, yo, and he was sleeping in the living room. So he hated me. He's like, yo, man, I gotta get out of here as quickly as possible. So he took the morning, and then I took the nights with Teta and Mighty Mike. And then after, I think a year, the station wanted to like do something different. And I said to Boss Idu, our station manager, is like, yo, why don't we have an evening show of guys? And I was like, okay, so who do you have in mind? And I was like, yeah, let's do something along the lines of drinking, womenizing, and also guy talk.
Yeah.
Because there was no podcast.
Yeah.
There was no YouTube really talking about how guys are.
Yeah. Really are.
Really are.
Like, damn, this guy's funny.
Like no holds barred.
No holds barred. Yeah. And then shit, we're like, okay, and then who we're gonna get? So they said Slick was talking to Idu, and then Slick was like, hey, do you want to ask King DJ Logan to come out of retirement? And at that time, King DJ Logan was very popular. He was doing Boogie Nights before, years prior to that, and he was also doing the Morning Zoo Crew. So Slick asked him, he wants to come back to radio, and we're like, okay, since you guys used to all hang out, why don't we just come up with a show where it's like garage type, guys drinking,
Man
like
show.
this, exactly like this, and then samahan, barkadahan, and just relax. Turn off the lights, and then we worked in the dark.
Yeah. That's what she said.
To give, and we used to work in the dark.
Yeah, I remember. It's so dark. It was like cold
Yeah.
and smelled like like lotion.
Yeah.
Every time it smelled like
it was super dark.
smelled like what do you call that? Victoria Court.
So go.
Chlorine.
Nivea lotion, or Jergens.
Jergens, holy shit.
Jergens.
Yeah, sanitized.
And then we roll with that. And then in like around, we started that March 6, 2006. And then eventually Logan left because there was an opportunity for him to be in a higher position with his own show. And so he wanted to replicate sort of boys' night out in a different network with a higher position. And we said, why don't we just stick with this? We never know what could happen to boys' night out. I can see the vision of it. This is your character, my character, Slick's character. And then we shook on it. But then the next few days, he decided to just jump ship. And then we had to get someone else. So 2 months, it took us. Slick and I were doing the show for 2 months alone, together, without a third guy. And then I said, hey, why don't we ask Sam? Because when Sam was still in college, he was my intern.
What?
Ooh.
That's crazy. I didn't
No,
know.
we
Never heard that story.
didn't know
Yeah,
that.
so Sam was my intern,
Yeah.
second year at Ateneo.
Yeah.
And I called him Sam the Sausage.
Oh wow.
Why is that?
Because his nose, and
Oh.
he had buck teeth.
Oh, yeah.
really?
So before he had braces or whatever, his teeth were like
Oh,
out
shit.
like here, spread apart.
Sam,
Urkel, get that photo. Find that photo.
Ayun, yung ngipin niya, grabe. It was like out. He had buck teeth and he had a long nose. And so I was like, yo, this guy, Sam the Sausage, your nose is so long. And he's like, okay, I'll roll with it. He was an intern, right? So he's not gonna say shit. And he just took it. And then Joe Schmo from 99.5 said, hey, I want to train that Indian guy. And I'm like, what? Why? He's like, well, you're not gonna hire him anyways, right? Or like, we're full staff. I go, if you're gonna give him a position, take him. I go, I'll take him back one time or another. I know in the future. And then so Joe Schmo trained him. He did the morning show for RT at that time. And then 2-3 months later, I have a talk with him. I go, hey, you want to come back to Magic? You know what I mean? This is the culture of Boys Night Out. This is what I want to paint to you. And he's like, okay, I'm game. And then he joined us, I think July, August.
Wow.
And he left Sam O. He left the morning show on 99.5 and joined us. And then that was basically and we just did guerrilla marketing.
Yeah.
I was calling.
You worked it.
Yeah, I was calling magazines. I was calling TV shows. I was calling.
So you did the hustle, not the
Broadsheets.
radio station.
No.
You did
no.
everything, the marketing.
I don't want to say everything.
Like
but
you led the pack.
Yeah.
we need everybody needs
it was,
someone like that.
But it was me leading, but them also supporting because you can't lead without a support group.
sure.
So Sam and Slick were best. You have to be invested into this, and at that time, I think we were all single.
Yeah. Of course you were.
We were all single, so we're like hungry, and we're like, okay, this is the vision, this is the game plan, and no one knew who the fuck we were. What the hell, Boys Night Out, like Meg Magazine, Summit Publishing. We're like, who the fuck are you guys?
Yeah.
And then I just called every newspaper, every writer.
It's so funny because you hosted all those magazine shows.
Yeah.
You ended up hosting that.
FHM.
Yes. You were the main host for every show
Yeah,
for like
Cosmo.
7 years straight.
Cosmo.
Because I was at my club. I would see you there every day.
Yeah. So all of those magazines, it just came full circle. But yeah, everything was just calling and going to the event. Even if we weren't invited, we'd show up, we'd dress up, and we changed the sort of the radio image.
For sure.
Because we dressed up. We're like,
Yeah.
yo, DJs don't fucking dress up. They don't have.
There's no swagger in DJs.
There was no, there was none, right? It was only like you could count, or you could. I don't even think DJs went out like radio DJs.
Yeah.
They weren't part
Back
of
then,
mainstream
it
culture.
wasn't.
They were never invited to promos, to red carpets,
Bottle service.
bottle service. John Styles put us on the map. It was like Boys Night Out Styles, and then we ran it. We friggin' just whatever event that they had, we would be there. We made sure that whatever Styles event, Boys Night Out, because that's what the girls like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thank you, Tony, for bringing all the girls there. Because every time Tony came in the room, Boys Night Out, everyone.
My entourage.
Everyone looking at us.
My entourage.
And yeah, so
It's all about the branding.
yeah, I have a question. How did you know? You built a version 1 of Boys Night Out. How did you know Boys Night Out was big already? When did it hit you?
When we started getting the billboards and probably the endorsements, like double-digit endorsement
Yes.
deals.
Very nice.
And we're like, oh shit, this looks good. I
Yeah.
mean, let's take care of it. This is like let's make it a household name. But I also was told when I first started radio with Sergeant Pepper that you're only good to your last show. So we always try to keep our feet on the ground because lights, the camera, the action, it's so easy to get fucking just, big head. It's so easy to lose yourself and get drowned with the fame and everything that's coming your way. Like now it's called being entitled.
Wow. Yeah.
And we were. I like to think that we were never.
Never. You reply to me. You reply to all my texts.
Yeah. We were never entitled. I didn't feel that Boys Night Out overstepped anyone except maybe one time, which is totally out of context. This is a true story. So the only one time that I think that Boys Night Out took advantage of our name was, so we used to go to this massage parlor after the show.
Oh, yeah.
And it was called Big Daddy.
Yeah.
So we after the show we used to end at 12, right? So yeah, this was 9 to 12. I think the massage parlor closed at like 1:32, but we got there later than usual because we had a guest. So we walk into this Big Daddy spa. I go in. I tell the guys, hey, I got something for you guys after the show. I'm gonna treat you. And they're like, oh, where? I had this membership to all the spas, and I had like plus free massage.
Wow.
Spa cool.
Yes. I was about to ask eh.
Yeah.
Anong klaseng spa ba yan?
Yeah. So it's a spa cool.
I don't know
Every
what that is,
month.
guys.
Oh, so where you have
Happy ending.
Oh, yeah.
extra service,
Yeah.
service.
Heaven and earth.
Sir,
Huh?
start mo
Heaven
po
and
ah.
earth. Langit. Langit. Hagdan ng langit.
So we get in there and there's like 20 guys. Pagpasok namin, 20 guys lined up and they look at us and we're like, oh, they recognize us. And then the girl comes out of the throat, draws the drapes. Lumabas yung girl. And you're like, BNO, pasok. We bypass the 20 guys. And then they're like, tang ina. And then some people don't know who we are. Like, tang ina, sino ba sila?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit, this is not good.
You took
and
over.
then fucking the next week, someone calls in, tang ina niyo guys, we were at the same spakul.
Wow.
It wasn't filtered na.
Yeah, like we're at the same spakul and you guys just bypassed the whole line.
What? Oh, so there's a wow.
Yeah, there's a line. There was a line because it was really well known. It was
There's always gonna be clout chase.
it was a grid spa. They massage your feet like freaking
Yeah,
like
yeah.
footsies
Yeah.
in Boracay. But then they take you to the back if you want,
yeah.
and then they just friggin' whatever you want.
The Schwitz.
Yeah. So
Slap the shit out of that.
I think that's the only time that we've really used or taken advantage of it, and then maybe Sam tried to a few years back when. We used to do Le Boracay, and then
course.
we came from Davao for a hosting gig. We were doing a Boys Night Out radio nationwide tour. So we came from Davao, and Sam was dating this girl, but he was on his phone, and we had to be at the airport by 6 a.m.
I think I know this girl.
Yeah. Very, very popular artista. And we had separate rooms, but I can hear, I would listen in, and I could hear him talking on the phone. And I'm like, yo, Sam, I think it's time to go. And I kept on knocking. I go, we're going to be late. I go, and Davao has a strict,
Up until now.
they're very strict when it comes to time. And so Slick's in the van. I go back. I walk out. I go back in the hotel. Go back up. I start banging on his door. Sam, we're gonna miss the flight. After an hour, it's too late. We've missed it already, right? We get to the check-in. Oh, gate is closed. I'm sorry, counter's closed. You can't be on this flight. You're gonna have to take another flight. Slick is pissed. I have my mala beads. I'm like, I'm gonna rip his head off. This Sam knows we're pissed, and the agent. Our booking agent in Boracay is like, yo, we have to do a run through for the event. And I'm like, yo, Sam, you handle it. It's your fault we're going to miss this connecting flight to Boracay. We're going to have to go to Manila, book a flight in Manila, and then go to Boracay from Manila. And then he's like, okay, I'll take care of it. He goes up to the head person of Cebu Pacific. He pulls out his ID. And this is like on our third year.
Mentos ID.
Talk about the confidence.
Third year. Wala. No one fucking knows us. You know who I am?
Kilala mo mo.
And I'm like, is he fucking joking? Is he showing his magic 89.9 ID in front of this manager who probably has no idea? He's from Davao. He probably doesn't listen to the radio. And then says like, we have to be on this flight. I'm from Magic 89.9. And me and Slick are like, what the fuck are you talking about, Sam? And then the guy goes, no, gate's closed. You missed your time. That's it. You're late. Book another flight, and then you can go to Boracay. And then Sam's like holding it. And I'm like, yo, this isn't going to work, bro. And I'm like, this fucking guy needs beats.
Anal beads.
He needs beats. Anal beads. That's what he needs. And that's the only time I recall that we've actually tried to use our leverage.
That
but it
fame
didn't work.
card. That fame
It didn't
card.
work.
Shout out pa ba?
It didn't even work. Exactly. So fucked up. And we missed that flight, and we had to go to Manila, book another flight on our cost just to get to Boracay.
Right.
So it really didn't work.
Yeah.
But it was a fun experience. At least you tried.
Yeah.
So when I look back, you built the team, the first version.
I like to think that
I mean, you recruited the team because it's the
maybe I had to give credit to Logan because
Yeah.
he was our senior. So
Right.
Logan set pace.
Yeah.
And I just followed through.
Got it.
You know what I mean? Stick and I just followed through. But in terms of marketing it
Yeah.
and pushing it,
Yeah.
pushing the boundaries, it was definitely a collective effort.
You guys really did a great marketing thing, and the story that you just told us, you just showed up, and it's all grit and grind. Like we want to be successful in this, we gotta be all in. All in meaning,
Yeah.
dress well,
Yeah.
be
Look the
friendly to
part.
everybody, look the part.
Yeah.
If we have something, we have spare change or budget to do some little craziness, let's do it.
Push
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Go.
Yeah.
And that's that.
That's rare today. Very rare.
No, it's rare. It's very rare. But that's why I'm always grateful for the guys that they were fully invested in it,
Yeah.
because they could have been easily like Logan and just take off.
Flake. Yeah, they flaked out.
Yeah.
So you had our guest today, Jojo. Can you tell us when you had to change, different elements?
Okay.
Personalities. Characters.
Yeah.
Jojo is really a character.
Okay.
for me.
I think everyone, if you have listened to the radio show on Magic 89.9, Boys Night Out was just originally 3 guys, and then eventually we had guest co-hosts.
Yeah.
So guest co-host consists of through the years we've had Sanaya, we've had Doc Rica, who's a sex therapist.
Whoa.
We've had Doc Gia, who's internal medicine. She's all over the internet too as well. Maybe you want to guest her. She's a cancer survivor. We've had Alex Caleja on the show as a co-host. We've had G Tonji.
Well, I remember G.
Yeah, G Tonji was a guest co-host for a year. And probably the most noticeable or I guess unrealistic of being a broadcaster is Jojo, the love survivor. So
Yeah.
his
Yes.
story is 2012. Jojo, you
Yeah.
want to say
Yeah,
it?
yeah. Thank you, Jojo.
Yeah.
Jojo, go.
I was born and raised in Cagayan de Oro. 2006, I came to Manila kasi probinsyano ako eh. Cagayan de Oro kami nanggaling. I never speak Tagalog, English and Bisaya lang. And then after that, 2012, nagtrabaho ako sa IT because I graduated Computer Science. And then after that, first ever girlfriend ko, 24 years old ako that time. And then nagtrabaho ko sa Ortigas, and my first ever girlfriend, I caught them cheating on me with my office mate.
Wow.
Damn.
Naglaplapan
That's
sila.
like a-
Naglaplapan!
Naglaplapan
Parang
sila.
Viva Films story to.
Naglaplapan sila sa Starbucks along Ortigas.
This is a
And then-
rom-com, right?
Yeah. It was April of 2012.
Wow.
I was 24 years old at the time. And then, it's my first ever girl. Kasi, probinsyano kami. Mahirap na kami. Hindi ako nakapunta ng Manila. Pangarap ko pumunta ng Manila 2006 because province na kami, nagtitinda lang kami mantika, toyo sa palengke. Yun lang namin, yun lang nabubuhay kami. And then, that time, I have in the table room sa office, I turned my radio. I caught my girlfriend na nag-away kami. Office mate ko pa yung kadota mate ko pa. Oh.
Your girlfriend slept or basically was cheating on you
May
with
cheating
your daughter
with me,
mate.
With your office mate.
Office mate. And then that time, it was sobrang lungkot ko noon. Parang guguho yung mundo mo. That's
Yeah.
parang
Yeah.
you're such parang first girlfriend mo, dinoko ka. And I turned the radio. Kasi may radio set ako sa office. And then, Magic 89.9, the topic that time is YOLO. You only live
You only live
once.
once.
You
Yeah.
only live once. And
Parang
then-
styles party yun sa
Yeah,
Boracay.
Then I called the show, and then the boys sent out answer me, and then I tell the story na you only live once because you only the one you love ninakaw, inahas ka. And then sinabi ko story ko, and I wanted to kasi sa 18th floor ako that time, gusto ko magpakamatay. Kasi alam mo yung parang wala lang, useless ng buhay, meaningless na.
The shitty feeling.
Wala na, parang kana. And then Toni answered the phone, and then may call. Sabi na, huwag ka magpakamatay kasi life is so good, marami pang darating sa'yo. And then, that night, sobrang gusto ko lang tumalon talaga. Kasi wala na parang wala nang pag-asa.
Yeah.
Parang that time, kasi in my mind, parang na ako medyo malungkot na.
Yeah, it's
Parang-
understandable. It's a heartbreaking experience, lalo na to see it face to face.
Yeah.
Plus, it's a first girlfriend.
Yeah.
First girlfriend ko. I remember that time, it's a Maniac Monday, Ramon Bautista, Toni, Sam, and Slick, advised me, wag ka magkamay, marami pang darating sa'yo, Jojo, marami pang babae dyan. And then, Toni said to me, if you have time, go to the station para makilala ka namin. And then, April yon. And that time, pumunta silang Vegas kasi may convention yata. May nagpakita ako. Nagka-backpack ako, pumunta ako Magic. Hi, I'm Jojo. And then, sumalang na ako. Pinasalang ko ni Toni sa
Wow. Thank you,
sa radio.
Tony. Saving lives.
Yeah, sinalang ko sa
Yes.
radio. And then sabi ko, wala ko alam sa radio eh. Actually, parang ang pangarap ko lang, is to work in Manila kasi probinsyano lang kami. Kasi wala...
Pero, ayan, rolling with Tony
Yeah.
BGC.
Yeah. But Tony is like a Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Like, with Tony, parang the GOAT. You will be...
Yeah.
But I'm so thankful of Boys Night Out
Of
for
course.
giving me... kasi I live in the slum area. Squatter lang ako nakatira eh. Wala naman akong... Di lang ako may mayaman. I live in Makati. Tony see my apartment, dormitory doon. Doon lang. And then, nung sumala ako sa radio, giving me a chance, okay, natuwa naman sila. And yun. Until now, we've been with Tony with almost 10 years na.
Yes.
Yes. Wow, that is something I've never heard on radio.
Yeah.
I mean,
Me, I know the story kasi. Pero, I mean, for everybody that's listening, kita nyo yung effect ng the voice of, not just, maybe at that time, radio, TV, for now, digital. That voice is very powerful.
Yeah.
That it influenced the right thinking towards a person that's on
another level.
not really on another level, but destructive destructive mode na. And it's a very, alam mo yun, it's just ironic na coming from garage style, inuman style themed radio show na magkakaroon ng ganong advice that really turned the life around of a soul, 'di ba? How did that having a show like yun talagang boys talk talaga? How did that feel after that episode?
I had to be mindful because that same week, I believe an Australian radio station, one of the nurses of the royal family, so they called London, England, and that morning show had pranked the nurse of, I think, Prince William's she had just given birth, the wife of Prince William. And the midwife, is that what they call it? The midwife?
Like midwife or care or something.
Yeah, like yaya, nagbikti.
No
She
way.
hung herself. And those two DJs were now friggin' they were being charged with murder.
What?
Yeah, man, because they pranked her,
Or
saying that
participation.
the baby suffocated, asphyxiation. The pillow was on the face. The yaya believed it, so she actually hung herself.
No way.
So I was like, shit, because we were joking that because we don't know if he was going to really jump, if he was really in the building, and the guys are like, just you know how we are, we're fucking around, right? We said, Jojo, okay, whatever, it's just a girl. You'll find many more. And then this guy's like crying, like hagulgul, meaning he's like bawling.
Yeah.
And we're like, what the fuck's this guy bawling for? And then I realized, shit, we can't be joking the full interview because he actually might take his life, and we're gonna be accessories to the.
Yeah.
We're gonna be like instead of him
accessories to
saving
murder.
him.
Responsible.
Yeah, shit. We're like, fuck. And so I was like, turn off the mics, and I go, yo, this guy might jump.
Yeah.
We don't know. We could be implicated.
So
if
there
he-
was this moment that
Yeah.
moment.
I shut up the mics, and then I turned the mic on. We're like, okay, Joe, stay on the phone. We kept them for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I didn't even play the commercials because it was too delicate. We didn't know whether this guy was telling the truth or not. And then eventually he calmed down. And then I think we made him laugh. I don't know. Ramon said something. Ramon Bautista was also part of the show. I forgot to mention him. But yeah, he mentioned that i-jakul mo na lang. And then I think,
Para mawala yung lungkot mo, jakal mo na lang.
yeah. And then I think Jojo laughed. And then
I think you got his energy to shift.
yeah. And then he felt a little better. And then we didn't see him for 2 months. I think that was March, April.
Yeah, you went to
March,
Vegas.
April, May, June.
Yeah.
June, did you come in?
May. I think
May.
after Las Vegas because it's like Holy Week yon, and then after Holy Week, May you went to Vegas.
Yeah,
And
and then he had a backpack with a hat, and he looked like a predator. He looked like some kind
The
of
datelines.
Dateline. He just stood in the booth, and he didn't say shit. And we're like, yo, who's this dude?
Kasi
Why-
you can see it. You can see it.
Yeah, why did the guard let this dude in? And then I asked him, okay, what do you, who are you here with? And then he's like, I'm Jojo. And I'm like, okay, okay. And then Slick asked him, okay, who are you looking for? No, you told me to come. And then I was like, we told you to come. We're like, that was like 2 months
2
ago.
months ago.
Like,
With all the- with
and
all
I,
the-
and I went out and I told the guard, huy, may loko-loko sa loob ng booth. I'm like, yo, this guy's just staring and he couldn't speak English.
yeah.
His English was like terrible. So we're like, okay. And then he goes, yo, I called the show. I go, who called the show? I go, called the show? He's like, yeah, I'm Jojo. And we're like, who the hell's Jojo? And then finally it clicked and it said, oh, this was a jumper.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy was going to jump. So we put him on air and we interviewed him. And then his English was really whack, but there was some character that I could see that okay, you know what, he can join the show until he feels more confident.
Yeah.
So he said, okay, every Monday if you want, come by the show. We can't pay you, but you can join the show till you gain more confidence and you see that life is worth living for and that your life and all lives are important. And then 10 years later, he was
He's
He's
here.
here today.
Yeah. Jojo, how did you feel in that moment? Siguro very quick lang towards yung sinabi sa'yo na, yung napatawa ka na, nung sinabi yung Jackal moment. How did you feel yung shift nun? Yung parang
natuwa rin ako kasi parang there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And then, when I go to the first, in the Boys Night, that first show ko noon, 2012 yun, Toni bought me in a Japanese restaurant. And never pa ako nakapunta in Japanese restaurant. And I'm so grateful. Toni bring me in the club in BGC.
Of course.
Na hindi pa ako nakapunta ng club. Kasi,
parang sensei si Toni.
Yoda.
I never eat in the restaurant. I never go to BGC kasi as in mahirap lang kami. Hindi naman ako mayaman eh. When Toni go, ay may ganito pala sa mundo. May ganito existing pala ng mga club, mga restaurant. Because I only eat karinderya. Hindi naman ako makain sa mahal eh.
So parang it was a blessed soul from Boys Night Out and of course Toni.
Yeah.
I really see the both of you always hang out together eh. So parang maybe it's because all the other guys are married now.
And the two solo.
Parang
maybe this is the new Boys Night Out.
Parang sinabi siguro nila sinabi ni Sam tsaka ni Slick, Toni kami may responsibilidad kami. Ako nang bahala kay Jojo.
No. Within before, di pa sila married. Toni, I'm so grateful kasi Toni is like a brother for me. We've been together, we drink together, we went to Cebu, we went to Korea, we went to Guam.
Yeah.
All my life.
Yeah.
50% ng learning ko came from Toni.
So you guys are married basically.
Yeah.
And then,
Shit.
Feeling ko pag kinasal
I
si
got
Jojo.
fucked up. The guy's married.
Pag kinasal si Jojo, best man.
Yeah. But like Ninong.
Bakit hindi best man?
Hindi, mayaman eh.
Akin na, Ninong.
Ninong lang.
Hindi, mayaman eh. Malaking
Ninong.
regalo.
Dapat best man.
Ninong pa, best man.
Ninong best man.
Ninong best.
So like from Jojo, yung experience from now, fast forward, what happened?
Pag-usapan natin fast
I
forward.
want to know the life-changing na lang. Yung mga,
Life-changing kasi I've been to the celebrity, kilala ko ng mga big time, and then...
Sino naman yun? Mga name drop na lang.
Marami.
Who have you met?
Who have you met?
Ryan Valenciano, Jasmine Curtis, Ann Curtis, and then, I met also different kind of celebrity then na meet ko. And then, Coco Martin, I meet also. And then, marami
Interviewed? Who have you interviewed?
Interviewed
on your show before?
Sila Bo Sanchez, mga speaker,
nice.
I also met sa mga best of the best personality in this industry, Gary Valenciano, Bamboo.
Oh wow. So all the artists.
All the artists, and I never expect this kasi probinsyano kami. I never thought na gusto ko lang magtrabaho sa Maynila
Ito talaga yung major shift sa buhay ng isang Jojo.
And I'm so grateful every single day when I work with Toni. You're playing, parang naglaro ka, kasama mo si Kobe Bryant.
Yes,
It's like Toni is
si
like
Mamba out.
Yeah, Toni is like Kobe Bryant of Lakers.
Yeah.
Parang,
do you even like Kobe?
You like Kobe beef.
Malay natin, gusto niya. Iba, Lebron or Shaquille.
The JV, like, Toni is like a Kobe Bryant. Parang may learning ka. Every time you play with, you play with Toni, it's like, this guy been in radio for 20 years. Parang, he's a veteran.
Establishmento na to si Toni.
Kumbaga, para sa Intramuros matibay na to kumbaga, sandalan mo siya. Pero I'm so grateful. No shit, no disrespect, but Toni is a good mentor in
That's
terms
why
of
he's
radio.
here. Yeah.
It's like playing Kobe Bryant every single fucking day. It's like good.
Toni, everyday ba ganyan
Everyday.
magsalita si Jojo sa'yo in front of friends?
No, I'm so grateful lang being with Toni for the 10 years. We've been together from...
I can see.
Yeah.
We see it. I mean, we see you guys almost like
And the things I love it, you're entertainers and friends.
Yeah.
It's hard to do that.
I think that's
with the ego.
I think
Without
that's
the ego.
exactly. I think that at the end of the day is what makes it work.
Yeah.
Other than
Relationship.
getting really great broadcasters, really great talented artists, entertainers, it's hard to keep the nucleus together.
And relevant. So
Yeah,
relevant. You gotta
yeah.
stay relevant.
Yeah, it's so hard to really, really keep. If you look at all in terms of sports, one player wants to leave, no matter how good it is,
Yeah.
no matter how
LeBron.
much he's getting.
There will
You know
always
what I
be
mean?
like that.
Yeah, it's so hard to
For the
keep.
paycheck.
You know what I mean? It's so difficult to keep in any industry the nucleus
True.
together. The core. One wants to do other things. One wants to venture into do their own thing. So it's we're really blessed to have the core stick together this long.
Yeah, up until now.
Yeah.
Up
Yeah.
until now.
You have so many doors open from radio. Can you tell our listeners? Because today, dati kasi you just said VTR.
Yeah, yeah.
Today, content creators don't go to VTRs.
No,
So,
At home.
no way, no way.
walang casting, walang
Wala,
dala.
wala.
So back then,
It was just like this, bro.
we had to get an agent call and say,
Yeah.
hey, go to Makati Salcedo Village. You have a VTR at Proville.
Yeah,
We'd
yeah.
line up, bring our set cards, turn to the front. I'm Tony Bueno.
Yeah.
I'm 24 years old.
Sa mga hindi nakakalam ng VTR, yung mga, look at your shoulder.
Yeah, to the right.
Look at the camera.
Three-quarter turn.
And you had to dress up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you had to look like you're going to the disco.
Yeah.
If not, the client would see you. And if you had one shot, Eminem style.
Yeah.
Today, it's not
No.
disciplined.
No.
Inconsistency.
No.
So what doors open from radio? Because you went into celebrityhood.
Yeah.
Pero sorry.
Yeah,
Tony.
yeah.
Pero before Tony and Jojo answers that question, kailangan lang natin mag-mandatory at magpasalamat sa lahat ng ating mga sponsors na nagtitiwala.
Yan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And by the way, guys, sa lahat ng mga nanonood at umabot sa punto ng video na to or sa lahat na nakikinig, umabot sa audio ng part na to, maraming salamat sa patuloy na pagsuporta. So to all our sponsors, kita nyo naman sila lahat. Thank you so much sa patuloy na pagsusuporta. Tuloy nyo lang yan para makapagpag-guest kami ng maraming ganitong klaseng kagandahang usapan. Di ba? And with that being said, Tony, anong doors nga ba yung mga nag-open? Di ba? What changed your life?
Well, obviously, radio was just radio. No one looked at it as a 360 thing where you can do TV, you can do hosting gigs in terms of as a group.
Yes.
It was always just one broadcaster, one DJ, one host, one MC.
Yes.
We took it to another level where, hey, we made things green, bastos,
Yeah.
pilio. And when you got us, the event would be much more
Yeah.
livelier
Yeah.
instead of one
Yes.
host. And I think we did that with the nightlife industry, with the collabs we would do with Styles and other promoters where, okay, wherever Boys Night Out goes, you already know it's fun.
Yeah. There's a vibe. There's
that
expectation.
was the vibe.
Yes.
Fun, women, partying, drinking.
Babaero.
Subtitle.
That's the first negative word na narinig ko kay Jojo.
Bawal yan. No. Can you give a... No, let's go back. Let's get into that.
Yeah.
That Baba Air. Because
Yeah.
honestly, I was telling JV, if I had a phone during Embassy, Republic, Encore, what do you think you'd see in that camera
Oh
phone?
shit! Oh shit! We'd be canceled, man.
Tell me, give me the highs and
We'd
lows.
be canceled, man. If everyone had a phone during that time, man, I would always talk to girl. I was single.
Yeah.
I was in my 20s, man. I'm gonna, man. Testosterone level
Rotation.
was off the hook.
Yeah.
I mean, you're on radio. Your Boys Night Out. And the opportunities. Another opportunity I want to open up, discuss is instead of us going from TV to radio, we went from radio to TV.
Yeah.
Wow.
So radio opened the doors, and for the kids out there, radio opened MTV for us.
Wow. I remember
We
that.
did a show on MTV. We did a show on Channel V. We on both networks.
Whoa.
I don't think we're the only radio show that had both networks. We did one for MTV, and then when MTV was sort of tagilid, and Channel V came in.
Yeah.
And then they got us, and then we did a show on CNN. The CNN, I can't believe we did a. I think.
It's so contradicting.
Yeah. If cancel culture was in, if woke culture, we
Back then.
wouldn't have a show on CNN because
yeah.
we were paleo. We weren't the CNN image.
Yeah.
We were toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
Talking about
Everything.
schools and whatnot, sex,
pick
drugs,
up lines,
drinking,
craziness.
And then we also did a show on Studio 23. That was our first show. Studio 23, CNN, MTV, Channel V, and I think we did another show on Solar. I can't remember,
yeah.
but
Of course, I mean, as a group of guys back then, I would assume majority were still single. I mean, well,
Yeah,
not,
all of us.
not
By
married.
choice.
Not married. not married.
yeah.
Kasi
choice.
parang yung reputation ng show.
Yeah.
This is just my thoughts. Parang when you go in a club or a venue or a party, and they know you, really that hard already to hit on a girl or something. Kasi if they know you, they already know na, this is dirty talk. This is landian.
Yeah.
It comes with a reputation. Diba?
True.
So, I want our viewers and listeners to hear how that kind of, diretsuin na natin. Since all boys
Boys
naman
na tayo.
tayo dito.
Yeah.
Pag-usapan na natin gaano kadali nagkaroon ng, am I wrong? Is it hard to pick up chicks?
When you're a celebrity at that level, how does it
Diba?
work?
Kasi assume na natin from all the hard work before where Toni and then of course Jojo from the province came from towards this, I'm not saying short span of time, but in a good scale, you had the opportunities, of course, the money came in, and at the same time there's fame.
Yeah.
And with that
Temptation.
fame, how did you entertain all the temptation?
And manage that.
Oh, yeah. So back then, I didn't manage it well.
You need a manager.
Let's just say that.
Being honest, that's a good honest.
Yeah.
That's being real.
I didn't manage it very well because it was all about, shooting your shot.
Yeah.
Whatever.
What's your
whatever,
score?
whatever.
69 is ko.
Basta may palda.
Walang pili eh.
Wala. You go from Cebu, Davao, Iloilo, Bacolod, Baguio,
Is it
Pampanga.
Is it the girls throwing themselves at you? Or?
There was a time it was like that, but I mean, at the same time, you also got to be careful with just messing with just any girl. So,
Oh, you gotta be careful with the crazy.
Psychos.
yeah. Some have boyfriends,
Yes.
some have husbands.
Grabe!
So you really have to be okay. You have to
There
draw the
should be
line.
a girls' night out concept.
Yeah. We had to draw the line because
My story.
he's not here to defend himself. But one of the guys is marupok. When it comes to temptation,
Yes.
and,
He's Temptation Island.
and even though I was probably always considered the bachelor and the guy that's always gonna have sex,
Parang
first.
branded si
Yeah.
Toni na,
Yeah,
ano eh.
but I was always more careful with the brand. I was very careful with let's not fuck the brand up. Let's be careful. Let's have fun, obviously, because we were young. But at the same time, when it came to the legality issues and getting in deep shit, I was like, look, we gotta draw the line somewhere.
Yes, pakita mo na ID mo. 18 ka na ba?
Yeah, 18, not married. Because I remember there were girls that would come up to Sam and
Sam to, ha?
they would actually say they're single. Like in front of our fucking faces, I'm single. And the fucking boyfriend is there in the club.
Yeah.
And we had an altercation at one point. And I said, yo, Sam, you
don't
can't
want
be
that.
going up to, drunk girls can't be going up to you and you thinking that they're single. Meanwhile, their boyfriend, their husbands are in the venue. I go, we're going to get fucked up in the club because of this. And then so now we're like, okay, after that incident, we're like, okay, we got to be more careful and we got to do our due diligence.
Yes. Pati yung
Research.
Friendster.
Jojo, research naman.
Friendster Facebook.
Follow Friendster.
Oh. Bakit may heart comment dito?
Sinong
Yeah,
single?
man, girls would actually lie. They would lie in our faces.
Dude.
And then, but like you said, there wasn't a lot of girls throw themselves.
Yeah.
But definitely when we go out, you'll have.
Did you get haters?
There's a tension.
I think you'll always get haters, but we were always such a great.
Yeah.
Ano sila
Good
fun
vibe.
eh? Fun
Yeah,
vibe.
we were a fun vibe. We were never. We can get your girl. We were never like that. We were like, we just wanted to talk to girls.
And they introduced themselves as that image. So, sabi
Yeah.
ko nga, ang ganda nung branding nila eh.
Yeah.
Yung branding nila nakatulong
May
talaga.
gray
yan.
area kasi.
Yes. So in hindsight, it's actually the girls who come up to us. You kind of know they're kind of down, maybe.
They need
But
that
obviously, at the end of the day, it's always consent, right? We always consent. Do you want to come over? Do you want to have sex?
Yeah.
Do you want to? What do you want to do? Are you
I
single?
can imagine.
I mean, let me tell you let
Story.
Jojo let Jojo tell you
Jojo,
the
sample,
stories
sample.
from zero women
O yan.
and from
How,
boys
how,
night out.
how did Love Survivor come? Kasi
Yeah.
you Survivor.
Yeah, I remember that time.
Parang hindi na yata love survivor. Love provider.
Provider na. Nag-provide ako ng
Spako.
pag-ibig.
Sex provider.
Sex
Sex provider.
I remember-
It's a service.
Yeah, yun na. Ang dami kong
Love walker.
naging chicks, to be honest, ang dami kong naging chicks because of Toni. Because Toni is like a walking Facebook.
Walking Facebook.
Ayan.
Pa lahat kaibigan niya eh. And then I remember 27 years old ako. My first sex is 27.
What?
Oh, kasi that time,
Not by yourself, ha?
no.
Hulaan ko kung sino ninong.
Yeah. I remember I go to
Prof-
but may aeroplano dito, dun sa Parañaque.
Air Force One!
Ano yan? I don't know that. I only know Air Force 2.
Yeah! Tony, it's my birthday. And then sabi nito, tara, punta tayo. Para mawala stress mo. And then Tony brought me in.
Ayan.
Ano ba to?
Shatsu.
Parang, ano ba to? Parang airport. Kasi parang airport eh. Yun pala.
Nagulat ka, may nagpa-show up, gano'n.
May cortina. Gumanon eh.
Bakit may tatlong class dito?
But after that, sunod-sunod na siya. And then, the problem
Siyempre, nasarapan ka eh.
Si Tony, ikaw.
Ha?
How many?
Dalawa!
No, pag after nun, marami ko nang kilalang
No,
babae.
in the Air Force, how many girls?
I think 2.
Sabay-sabay.
Yeah. And then after that, and then naging ka na rin ko. But the problem is, parang pag yung babae makakita sa'yo, ay, boys, night out ka, manyakis ka. Pero for me naman, maraming girls talaga. There's many fish in the sea.
Oh, yun.
Marami.
Dilis.
Ayun, marami siya. And then, after that, may mga babaeng, minsan meron, minsan wala.
Merong regla?
Meron ka man nakukuha.
Meron.
Pero,
Linawin natin dito. Sorry
Jojo,
na. Gen Z, sorry.
MTRC
Mga
dito.
tito nyo dito. Nag-enjoy na.
Aside sa mga girls sa airport, saan ka when you go out to the club, what's the difference? The other club. Yung mga malls, and what was the experience like? Kasi you're famous. How did it affect your girl situation?
Di rin eh. Kasi may mga girls din na namimili eh. Pero ako naman, namimili lang ako kung kaya kong yung girls na.
Wala paasa. Maraming paasa.
I remember one time, I was crying in the club and Tony told me the one word. Don't be lonely. Be horny.
The one's word.
Yeah,
The one's word.
The one's word.
Tandaan nyo yung the one's word.
Don't be lonely.
Define the one's
The
word.
ones.
So, nung narinig mo yung one's word, Joe, anong nangyari sa...
Don't be horny.
Don't be lonely, be horny.
Yan! The wise words.
The wise words.
Wise words of the day by Tony
Pili ko,
Bun.
meron lang akong sasabihin ha. The opinions expressed by guests and
No.
hosts are solely theirs and do not reflect the opinions and beliefs of the show, channel, or its
Tito doon,
affiliate.
madaming
Ngayon,
comment sa baba.
When I experience some of the girls, naniniwala na ako, wala sa kanya. Diskarte, wala sa mukha yan eh.
Yeah.
Kasi may mga pangit naman na guys na nakakapuro.
No. I'll give it up. Jojo, when I saw you in my club, I'm like, security.
Yeah.
They're always your friend.
Pero he's rolling with Tony.
Parang, di ba, when you a fisherman, may lambat ka, di ba? Tapon mo yung lambat sa dagat, may makukuha ka eh. May ganun.
May dalag.
Kahit may danggit, di ba?
May makukuha ka kahit pauting isda lang yan. Pero, yun ang concept
Focus
eh.
lang.
May tanong ako dyan with Tony and you. So, let's say it's only the two of you that goes out. And there is a group of girls. Let's say you're in the zone of let's pick up some chicks. Parang ganun.
Okay.
You're at the libido's
Parang
up.
it's the two of you. Kasi ako as a guy, syempre meron din tayong mga group of guys na parang
Game time.
meron bang take one for the team? meron bang yung talagang enabler, mga ganyan? Meron bang mali-left, uwi na lang ako, bro. Diba? So, how does it work like when you guys, the two of you go out? Is it always
May shake and
has
bake?
to be shake and bake, the two of us, partner? or
Hold
parang, pwede sabihin ni Joe, Tony, uwi ka muna, ha? Kami muna, or the vice versa. How does it work?
Well, I don't think we've had the threesome yet. Right?
Wala pa naman.
The swords haven't clashed.
Yeah, we haven't had a threesome.
For clarity,
Wala pa naman.
But he's been in the room
Yes.
with me.
Recording.
Yeah.
How many times have you jerked off with me and then with a girl?
I remember.
How many?
Dami na. Kasi,
Ilang beses ka na nagjakul?
Marami. I remember when we were in Davao and then in Apo Hotel or something and then we go there and then it's the middle of 3 a.m. Tulog na ako, nagising ako, may kumakaluskos sa sabi ko.
Ano yan?
Ingay para sabi ko, alam ko na.
Tapos
What did you do?
I just jerk it. Patanggal ng lungkot.
Lotion or lawan?
don't be lonely, be horny.
Saan mo ano?
Doon sa kumot na. Di ba sabay na eh. Yes, kinabukasan kasi flight na yun eh. And then, remembrance mo sa hotel. Yun.
Tulog na lang.
Oh. But Tony's enjoying that. But to be honest, all my learnings for the chicks came from Tony. Parang, she's like a master.
Yeah, masturbator lang. What's the number one lesson rolling with Tony?
And then, be confident and
Yan.
talk with people. Kasi
Yes.
Tony is like parang bubuyog kahit saan eh.
Yeah, I think Tony can
Parang
be.
bubuyog, parang kung saan sa bulaklak
Kaya
sa...
ko, kaya sa kanyang bulaklak eh.
Uy, may nectar dito. Dito tayo.
Tutusok siya saan eh.
I want to tell a story. Whenever you host Tony and the group, it's parang the president is walking in. Not just the president.
don't
It's
know
like the
about that.
biggest entourage. All dudes and all the girls. And Tony would get the best seats in the house.
Yeah,
Because he always has my table. Because he brings the best looking girls.
Actually, totoo yun. That's
That's
true.
tama,
That's
tama.
true.
And it would be just like, again, every famous person, A to Z, GMA, TV5, Viva.
Walang patapon eh.
Wala. I mean, like,
Oo, lahat.
These are fun. These are great. For me, ako natutuwa ako.
parang
Kasi-
bata na tayo. We're like our old school
kasi-
memories.
now you know bakit idol ko sila.
We can take this to
Diba?
another level.
Nagsimula tayo kay John, puta, club owner eh. Ay, gagawin natin dyan. And then dito sa dalawang to, famous, di ba? Ay, gagawin natin. I can testify that I see them really the ones that are, sila yung life of the party.
For sure.
Diba? And
Yeah.
and who doesn't want that?
Yeah.
Diba? Who doesn't want that for someone like regular, diba? And so of course, medyo tanong tayo, is there a moment na like red flag moment with the ladies?
I think
Every day?
I think I'm the red flag.
Yeah.
I don't think they're the red flag. I think I'm the red flag, and that's why I always tell them that right now I'm just I'm living the life of being a bachelor.
Yeah.
I don't see myself getting married. I don't see myself having kids, and I put that out there. So it's up to them if they wanna.
Kind of like Drake. Drake is,
Yeah.
levels of fame.
Yeah.
From Canada, by the way.
Yeah, yeah.
Toronto pala. Kobe ka ng Kobe.
No, like, this is something I want to tell people who want to be famous,
Yeah.
entertainment, and this is a choice, diba?
Yeah.
Like, what made you choose this path? Because it's also your brand and it's also a choice. So,
I think it just fits well with who I am.
Yeah.
First, it was the brand, and then I realized maybe it's more than just the brand. Maybe it's me.
Yeah.
Maybe I enjoy being the solitude of the time on my own, and also the time with people. As much as I love being around in the nightlife industry and around people, I also do enjoy a lot of time on my own, and I think that's keeps me balanced.
Yeah.
The yin and the yang. I've been able to hopefully balance both my personal life and then my career as well, so that it keeps on going and growing, where I don't burn out. So I don't have a freaking Justin Bieber, a Britney Spears moment.
All hell breaks loose.
Yeah, because it can be overwhelming, right? When shit hits the ceiling, what do you do? So I think me being single, I realize that relationships are variables that you have no control over.
True.
Nothing. You can't control a person.
tama.
You can maybe set boundaries, you can set rules, but 100% of the time you can never control what they're gonna think, what they're gonna say, and what they're gonna do.
Agreed.
And so for me, I decided to put all that energy into myself, learning more about myself, doing a lot of work within, and figuring out why I think the way I do, trying to find out what my weaknesses are to make them maybe not necessarily my strengths, but also make it.
Sharpen the sword.
Yeah, make it where everything's energy.
Yeah.
So that way I give off, I resonate great energy, good vibes, and also I invite those that are on the same level, same frequency. And so if you're not, you won't be by my side. If you are, let's roll. And I've done that. I've been single for.
Yeah.
I've dated maybe 3 women.
Yeah, I saw all of them.
Yeah.
So, Tony, we go back.
Yeah.
I want to, you went into an area what I want to close with.
Yeah.
There was a time, when you went through some hard times.
Yeah.
You went through some spiritual, I'm sure you had your moment. Can you, because a lot of people are getting more aware. JV's
Yeah.
aware. He's getting more aware about this stuff, about energy.
Yeah.
What was your learning from that time?
Oh man, my
Your awakening.
I guess in a nutshell.
Because you're not all like fucking fuckboy. You're all
Yeah.
they're Buddha.
Yeah,
Fuckboy Buddha.
Yeah. I have like 2 different sides to me. So, I like to think that I'm not one dimensional. I can be I can do both things. I can handle the whole, socializing and nightlife and the entertainment side, and then I have a side of me where I really can decompress and talk about spirituality, talk about inner work and whatnot, and so my journey started when I first moved here around 98, 99, and it was a hard time for me. I was trying to hustle, couldn't get any gigs. And then one day, I brought with me a Bible. I don't know why, but I was listening to Earl Nightingale, Harvey T. Eker, Brian Tracy, and a whole bunch of. I downloaded when I left Canada these audiobooks on Napster and LimeWire, and I would listen to that. Changing the mindset, shifting your mindset and your energy.
You prepared yourself.
Yeah,
basically.
because I had nothing else. You know what I mean? When you're desperate,
You look.
you and I'm a seeker. I will always seek and trying to search what's the meaning of this, and try and find facts, right, rather than just hearsay. I want hardcore facts on how this is proven. And so for me, listening to those audiobooks at that time was very foundation. It was a great foundation, because then that got me curious, and it was harder times after harder times. And then I met someone in Shangri-La Mall. She was like a 50-year-old tita called Master Zen. She was all about crystals. And I was like, okay. I waited there for like an hour, and then she accused me of, are you going to steal something? Because you've been standing there for an hour. And then long story short, she became kind of like my mentor, my mother figure. Because I didn't have, I was away from family for a couple of years. From that, it was like maybe 4 years. We weren't talking. And so me meeting Master Zen or Tita Zenny, she kind of like held me strong in terms of where to go in terms of my spirituality, what I may need. And she's like, hey, why don't you wear these crystals? And I was like, oh, these are like such fat beads. And this is 2002.
Yeah.
And then that was Tiger's Eye. And then I didn't see her 2003, didn't see her 2004. And I bumped into her 2005. And she's like, hey, where's those beads? And I'm like, oh, it broke. She's like, hey, come by and let's talk. And then so I go by, and then she gives me like even bigger beads, crystal quartz. And then that year was the year leading into Boys Night Out.
Wow.
And from then on, I was curious.
Show your beads, guys.
Yeah. And so I got curious. From 2002, 2005, I had a devotion. She's like, hey, why don't you have a devotion? It doesn't have to be one religion. It could be non-denominational. So I pray, and that's when I started looking into Buddhism. And in 2009 was Hinduism. And then after 2009, I got more into the practice of meditating. And then from 2009 onwards, I started meditating and really trying to focus and harness that good energy, the good vibes. So I did affirmations. And then 2018, I really got more into the whole holistic approach of it. So I stopped eating meat, no processed sugar, no dairy, no alcohol.
Yeah.
And it kind of made me lighter and more. Now I can like manifest things even quicker, and it seems like my life is just flowing. I'm just flowing.
Yeah.
There's more
you will
clarity.
have obstacles, but I'm better managing my trigger points. Kung dati, I'll be really pissed off. I'll be
Stress.
mad. I'll be shouting. But now I have a different angle on things, a different perspective on how to handle my thoughts, my emotions. And as they say, 1% of your environment changes when you meditate. So not only does it change internally, physically, but also everyone around you. And that's why I love it. That's why I do it, because I want everywhere I go, I want the people to feel good and be also blessed. Feel that, hey, okay, this guy is really great. Let's work with him, or let's do something with him. And that's how I've been since 2009, that wherever we go, all three of us are on the same page, and that everyone's just great with just hanging out with us. And we haven't had too many controversies. We've had maybe one or two, but that's about it. But
I was one of a part of that controversy in Baraka, I would say.
Oh yeah.
I was in the photo, like
Yeah, I got kicked in the balls. We talk about it all the time.
yeah, and we're on like
Yeah.
So Google that.
Yeah. It's on friggin' it's online.
Like Abante and stuff.
Abante. That's right. That's
Pero grabe rin yung yung change, 'di ba? From hard work, seeking, learned a bunch of things, devotion, and at the same time being not heavy, light with everybody has brought you to where you are today. And then I could say the same for Jojo, who was, I believe, a lost soul back then. And coming into the light with, of course, nakakasama kayo, and especially Toni. And it's good because it's a balance of, yin and yang. So there's your fun times, there's your dedicated times. Ang daming matututunan ng mga viewers natin dito. Syempre, baka akala nyo, puro yung good times na yung nagtawanan tayo ng malakas dito. But that's all part of it.
Yeah.
Diba? That's all part of the success and the hard work and dedication. And of course, the clarity of the goals. Diba? And John's very always wants to talk about that in our podcast. So, my next question now is, what is Toni and Jojo have been up to these days or the past few months or after pandemic? What has changed, and is it heavier? Is it lighter, or anything that you can share?
Oh, Jojo, you want to go first?
Yeah,
How hard has it been for you?
It's hard been kasi nagka-depression ako that time, and then malungkot because Toni was in Canada during that lockdown, and then wala akong masabihan, walang problema. Ang daming di ba? Kasi nasa bahay lang tayo, and then you have no work, wala kang ginagawa. And then I learned how to pray, and then yung trust mo kay God, you become entering a Bible study, ganon. Pero yun lang, natutunan ko is life is so much fun. There's more blessing in life, di ba?
YOLO.
Nagkaroon ng more thinking.
More thinking. The moment you wake up in the morning, lahat meron may blessing na darating sa buhay mo. And then Toni is a good friend, and you can in good times and bad times nandyan siya, nakakasama mo siya.
Very nice.
And then I believe in life na kailangan talaga na you have one friend or core group.
Parang merong homeboys.
Homeboys na parang siya. Every time you are lonely, everything will be tap in your shoulder na everything will be okay.
Tap on your shoulder. Pakul tayo.
Let's pakul tayo. Tayo. Bahay Luna.
Bahay Luna.
DL Luna.
Bahay Luna.
Pero stockholder tayo si Jojo.
DL Luna, sponsor.
But anyway, Jojo, as we run towards the end of our podcast, anong mga ginagawa mo ngayon? Do you have any gigs or shows that you like to
Yun, nag-YouTube channel ako, and then, follow mo yung YouTube channel ko, Jojo Love Survivor, yung mga car review, mga pumupunta ako kahit saan, and then, yun, sa Boys Night Out, minsan nag-guest ako, and then, every time, and then work din, and then, mga event pupunta, nakikikain.
Events, contact Jojo Survivor.
Yan.
Sa mga weddings, corporate.
Yan.
Yes.
Kung may ispakol, contact
Sponsor. Bahay Luna.
Bahay Luna.
endorser
Influencer ka pala doon Influencer ka pala. Ambassador.
Bahay Luna. Yun, ano pang ispakol na iba?
Hindi ko alam.
Pegasus. Classmate.
Baka
Heartbeat.
mapahamak ako dito sa podcast.
Heartbeat. Lahat.
Yan.
Okay na.
Baka viral tayo dito.
Okay na. Alam ko yung Air Force One tsaka
Air
yung
Force One.
BL. Okay na ako dun.
Pegasus. Classmate.
Hindi ko na alam yan. And how about you, Toni? What have you been up to? I hear like you've been doing some partnership with some businesses. Anong ginagawa ng isang Toni ngayon?
Basically, still boys' night out. That's where I find fulfillment. Ever since radio still gives me the butterflies every day. I worked while I was in Canada. I brought my equipment and I still did it online during the pandemic. The first few months, I found Zoom. In the second week of the pandemic, and we did Zoom all throughout the pandemic and live to air. So it really is my sweet spot. It's my comfort zone. It's what gets me, I guess, through the day, no matter what. But on the side, obviously the side hustles, I'm very heavily involved with 12 Monkeys. I'm there almost every day, at least 4 or 5 times a week.
We'd love to collab with our artists and you guys.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, our artists, we have so much singers.
We'd love to actually have them on either on a Sunday or on a Tuesday where we have indie night.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's I love bands. As much as I love the nightlife, there's only so much music I can listen to.
Wait for the drop.
Diba?
Put your hands
Like,
up.
we've been in the industry for almost 15 years, maybe going out maybe 20 years plus. So listening to the music now and comparing it to the music back then, enjoy more the music now. I still enjoy the music from before. That's what keeps me in the clubs. Now it's just more like it's the people that keeps me in the clubs.
Yeah.
The people I meet, the people I talk to, and I would rather watch bands because bands, it's a more chill vibe.
How many branches 12 Monkeys?
Right now we just have one because during the pandemic we closed
Oh, yeah.
El Pueblo,
Yeah.
and then we shut down also Century Mall. So our only branch right now, that's available is Estancia in Pasig.
Okay.
So it just opened January 13th.
Yeah, very near sa studio. No?
Yeah. It's very close.
So
very
guys,
close.
expect collab with 12 Monkeys soon.
Yeah.
Anything, apart from that, anything else you've been up to?
I frequent the Palace as well, but mostly definitely 12 Monkeys. I'm also part of Draft Group. That's been going on since 2010. And then we have also a soju bar with a couple other guys.
Nice.
In Poblacion. So it's called the Odd Soul.
Oh, yeah.
We just renovated. We're opening in August again. So
let's
it's
check it out.
all it's basically like warping into Korea, and then we have all kinds of soju drinks
Oh, wow.
infused with Melona
Ooh,
and
nice.
yogurt and Yakult. So,
So
if
is
you
that a
guys-
field trip, JV? Should we go?
Yeah, if you
for
guys
sure.
want to
Field trip.
One call.
House of Collab.
House of Collab, Season 6,
Yeah.
August. Let's
DJ
go.
Hunt.
yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
expect more collabs with Tony and Jojo.
And then also, Tony, please plug in your social media so everybody can follow you. And then you can slip on their DMs. I'm just kidding.
yeah.
Send
Yo,
the
Save a life.
Yo, save a life, burn brain cells. It's DJ Toni on all social media platforms. So basically, it's DJ TONY on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Threads. OnlyFans,
Grindr, Tinder, Bumble.
RateMyFeet.com, and
Bath water.
yeah, Twitter, and I think the other one
YouPorn.
is TikTok. Yeah, I don't do much TikTok. I just post videos from 12 Monkeys. That's about it of different bands.
Very nice. Thank you so much, Jojo, and of course,
Thank you,
Tony.
guys.
It's a pleasure. It's an honor to be
I
here.
feel like this kind of podcast requires an encore.
Yes.
And we would love to have you guys again, or maybe more from Boys Night Out, the entire crew.
Yeah,
We
with the boys.
definitely Sam Slick, and Gino. I'm sure they'll be down to collaborate. We're always game, man. I mean, as we always said, you can always be an island, but it takes a team to make the dream work.
Yeah. And then once the entire crew is here, let's go to Big Daddy
Yeah.
afterwards.
Yeah, Big Daddies and Spakol. Baya Luna.
Wala na eh.
Wala na, ganun talaga. Hindi tayo pumunta.
Veneto Luna. na lang.
Veneto Luna
Veneto.
yun.
VL. Yeah.
Baka ma-sponsor.
Baka naman.
Biki naman.
Baka naman sana all.
But anyway, guys, deep gratitudes from the
Thank
House
you
of
so
Collab, from the guest list. It's really an honor. And of course, John's a friend of yours. Me,
Yeah.
still, for me, ano pa rin sa akin, ano pa rin ako, very happy and surprised. Happy, thankful that I was able to share this opportunity with you guys in this stage. And of course, sana marami pa tayong collaborations na magawa
Yeah.
together.
Yes.
The soonest that I can think of is probably if this weekend I decide to go out for
His birthday.
it's on Saturday. So if ever, we'll just call each other up. And,
Yeah, let me know.
Happy
Papa.
birthday.
Happy birthday
thank you,
advance.
Thank you.
Also, you can listen to our radio program.
Yeah.
We're on 5:30. Well, 5 p.m. it starts, but guys don't get there till 5:30 because they're fucking lazy. 5 p.m. till usually 7:30 p.m. Mondays through Thursdays
Boys Night Out.
Boys
on
Night
Magic
Out.
89.9.
Yes, sir. So, yun na nga, guys. We were blessed with, of course, the Love Survivor, Jojo, and of course, the one and only Toni Bueno. And of course, kahit kulang kami ngayon, wala si Ryan, sayang, but he's very busy. And I hope marami kayo natutunan dito at napaka-excited ako makita to yung mga snippets natin on TikTok. So, to everybody that's watching, listening, please do comment kung ano yung mga thoughts nyo sa lahat ng mga napag-usapan namin today. You can coin some terms if you want to. Pwede tayo magpagawa ng t-shirt sa cosign.
Yes.
Sa mga once lines, mga ganyan.
The guest list.
The guest list, yan. And
GL.
Oh yeah, I also forgot. We have a dak shawarma.
Oh,
yes.
shawarma.
Yes.
Sarap doon.
It was built during the pandemic because we didn't have money.
available yan, meron dito sa may BF yata or
BF, yeah,
So
BF,
we
yeah.
order here, support. Syempre, support.
yeah.
kami dyan.
Grab, Foodpanda,
Yes.
Dax
Dako
shawarma.
shawarma.
It's very good shawarma. Yan.
So thank you guys. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you also. Thank you so much. And so, gusto lang namin paalala sa inyo to follow our social media accounts, the Fairfax Network channel on Facebook, Instagram, and on TikTok.
Audio, Spotify, Buzzsprout, Amazon, and Apple Music.
Yes, search nyo lang ang The Guest List at we will do our best to upload every week. And by the way, as we close, my name is JV Advincula.
I'm John Herrera.
And this is The Guest List. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.